And let's go in depth on the government's 2015 economic directives announced today. Joining us is Professor Jun-sok from Catholic University of Korea. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Happy to be here.
So what did you think of the plans for 2015? Is it good enough, not enough? What's your take?
Okay, well, Korea faces two problems. One is short-term problem, which is the ongoing recession, which people are fearing that it will turn into a long-term problem. Okay. But we also have a long-term problem, which is low productivity coupled with very bad demographic future. I think this plan tries to deal with the long-term problem, not necessarily with the short-term one. So if we take the view that this is dealing with the long-term problem, then it's not a bad plan. It has a smorgasbord of different policies, but they're trying to raise the productivity for Korean economy.
So the policymakers want to make sure that real Koreans can feel the effects of this sort of structural reform in the coming year. But do you think that actually nothing can really fix the economy in just 1 year, as you said that these are long-term fixes? Do you think that we should just put the focus on long-term anyway and just kind of forego the short-term?
Well, we definitely need something in the long-term, and there are some elements in this plan for the short run. They did increase the government expenditure and weighted toward the first half of the year. But I think the fact that they tried to create jobs, they're trying to deal with it. I'm not quite sure if the focus on the job creation is the most effective way of dealing with the short-term recession problem. Short-term recession problem, I think the key factor is trying to raise consumer and business confidence.
So let's talk about these job reforms and the labor market reforms. They said that there is an imbalance in Korea's labor market, and the finance minister said that that countries like Germany, Britain, and the Netherlands push for labor market reforms, and they actually benefited from that. Why did he bring up those countries in particular, and how can it be applied to the Korean case?
Okay, well, Korea has a bad reputation in the labor market. I think part of the problem is that the report mentions that there's a mismatch in labor. The type of people who are coming out of college isn't really fit for the current job status. Universities are at fault for that. I think the emphasis on tests to get into university is a major factor for that. Well, if you take the UK, for example, they gave up a lot of rights that went to unions. They gave a lot of labor flexibility. They also liberalized a lot of the financial market. So they've been able to live off the financial market for about 20 or 30 years. That would probably not have been possible if they didn't have more labor flexibility as well as regulatory reform during the 1980s under Margaret Thatcher. But then it's controversial because, well, the UK experienced very high growth, but there was increased income disparity.
All right, and really quickly, let's look forward to the next year on our own. What are some of the risk factors and opportunities for the Korean economy?
Okay, well, in the short term, I think, as I said before, consumer confidence, business confidence is crucial, but nobody's really sure how to make that higher. So that's been the problem for the entire this year. We're not quite sure whether we'll find the key next year. Internationally, I'm a bit worried about China's slowdown and Russia's problems that they're facing right now with the currency depreciation. If they can contain it to just Russia, it's not going to be a problem. But if it spreads, that's going to be a major factor.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your insights with us tonight.
Thank you.